guys, Charity with North Texas Plastic Surgery Southlake. I am your hair restoration specialist. Here we have ARTAS Robotic Hair Restoration. It is super exciting technology that brings a hair transplant to a whole new level. Am I a good candidate for a hair transplant? And the answer is, if you're having hair loss or thinning and you're wanting a permanent result, then this is the procedure for you. So we're taking hair from an area that is never going to be subject to hair loss and moving it into an area of thinning and loss. As far as downtime goes for a procedure, I would recommend taking the week after the procedure off. That way all of your swelling is gone. You'll have a little bit of scabbing that will hang on, but you can wear a loosely fitted ball cap a couple of days after the procedure. We recommend no sun exposure on the top for 2 months. So you kind of want to plan this when you're done being in the sun for the summer. The hair restoration process is about 8 to 10 hours, so get ready for a full day of hair restoration. As far as pain management goes, we do use something to numb the area we're working on. So we want it to be pain-free, but you should feel a little bit of pressure. It's just kind of a long day, but we really try to manage your pain as best we can. When you come in the morning, you're going to meet with Dr. Obaid. He's going to talk to you about different medications, how we can make your transplant last longer. He's going to draw on your hairline and really just make sure you have all your questions answered for the day. After you meet with Dr. Obaid, we're going to trim your hair down. The robot has to have the hair at a very specific length, so we'll trim the hair down and then we'll begin numbing the donor area back here. The first portion of the day, we're going to be harvesting the hair from back here, so we want to make sure it's good and numb. So after we have you good and numb, we'll begin the harvesting portion of the day. You'll be face down anywhere from 2 to 4 hours while we harvest the hairs with the robot, where the robot is looking at a little bitty tiny grid and it's finding the hairs that have 2, 3, and 4 hairs coming out of the follicle instead of the singles. And it's also going to space them apart perfectly so that you could wear your hair short in the back if you wanted, and you wouldn't be able to tell where we've taken any of the hair from. After we've completed the harvesting portion of the day, you'll be sitting up the rest of the day. Then we're going to numb the area where we're going to transplant the hair. Once we have that area numb, then we'll begin making the sites. So we're making the little bitty sites where we're going to implant the hair. That takes about an hour. After that, we're going to break for lunch. We'll provide lunch for you, give you about a 20-30 minute break, and then we'll begin implanting the hair. That's the last portion of the day where our technicians are manually implanting each hair individually. That takes anywhere from 2 to 4 hours depending on how many hairs we are implanting. So once we're done with the implanting, we're going to give you some pain medication for at home. You can take that as needed. After we have you bandaged up, you're going to have your bandage on for about 24 hours. And then after that, we'll have you come back in about a month and we'll start taking our after pictures. So the full results of the procedure is 1 year out. I really have patients telling me that about 4 to 6 months is when they start seeing all that new hair coming in beautiful and full. But the first few months, it's a little bit patchy. So I always tell people, don't plan your wedding right after the procedure. Give the procedure a little bit of time to work. A lot of patients have heard about shock loss. Shock loss is probably the most frustrating part of a hair transplant. Happens anywhere from 2 to 12 weeks after the procedure. Some of those hairs get a little bit angry and fall out. Don't worry, the hair follicle is still there and they really start growing in nice and thick somewhere between 4 to 6 months out. But the first 2 to 12 weeks can be a little bit frustrating, but that hair will definitely come back and look nice and thick and full. Everyone wants to know, how long is my hair transplant going to last me? On average, a patient is not considering another hair transplant for about 7 years. But we do have some different medications and supplements that will slow down the DHT conversion and make your hair transplant last longer. So those are a lot of the things we'll talk to you about in office. We also recommend PRP treatments. That's using your own platelet-rich plasma in the areas of thinning and loss. So we have a few different things that we recommend to make your transplant last as long as we can. After your hair transplant, we do recommend the PRP treatments. That is really going to help with your shock loss quite a bit when that new hair is trying to come in. We give you your first 3 months supply of Nutrafol, an all-natural hair supplement, really great product line that they have. We also recommend Minoxidil and some type of DHT blocker. Minoxidil is going to make your hair grow thicker and faster, and a DHT blocker is going to slow down the amount of hair you're genetically supposed to lose. So men are not the only ones that experience hair loss. We have actually had a lot of female patients in the last couple of years. Women have hair loss and thinning as well. So with women, a big concern is, am I gonna have to shave my head? Absolutely not. We can just shave a small area in the back and have your hair where it will cover it when you wear it. You can still wear your hair in a ponytail. It won't be noticeable at all, but women are absolutely concerned about hair loss, and we have a solution for you. Are you too young for a hair transplant? Well, we have had patients as young as 18 years old that just had hair thinning and loss really early on. So if you're wanting a permanent solution, age is really no issue. We can do it as long as you're 18 years old and you're ready to have some permanent hair restoration. You're probably a good candidate. If you're interested in having a consultation for hair restoration, please visit our website below. All consultations are free.